Psalms 37, verse 25 to 26 says, I have been young and now I am old. Yet I have not seen the righteous forsaken or his children begging bread. He is ever giving liberally and lending, and his children become a blessing. What does that mean? If you heard of generational curses, you should also know that there are generational blessings. You being a good person can become a blessing for generations to come. In 1 King chapter 5, it tells a story about Solomon, who was building a temple for God. And he went to a King Hiram for timber. And so I'm going to read it to you. Now, Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants to Solomon when he heard that they had anointed him king in place of his father. For Hiram always loved David. And Solomon sent word to Hiram, you know that David, my father, could not build a house for the name of the Lord, his God, because of the warfare which his enemies surrounded him until the Lord put them under the soles of his feet. But now the Lord my God has given me rest on every side. There is neither adversary nor misfortune. And so I purpose to build a house for the name of the Lord, my God, as the Lord said to David, my father, your son, whom I will set upon your throne in your place, shall build a house for my name. Now, therefore, command that cedars of Lebanon be cut for me, and my servants will join your servants, and I will pay you for your servants such wages as you said. For you know that there's no one among us who knows how to cut timber like the Sidonians. When Hiram heard the words of Solomon, he rejoiced greatly and said, Blessed be the Lord this day, who has given to David a wise son to be over his great people. And Hiram sent to Solomon, saying, I have heard the message which you have sent to me. I am ready to do all you desire in the matter of cedar and cypress timbers. Why is this important, Barbara? David was such a good man that even after he died, his son Solomon was able to receive the blessing of David. People remember Solomon because of his father's action. So we have the opportunity to do things that our generation can receive blessing from. And it's not just money, just being a good person. It's just, Proverbs 22:1 says, a good name is to be chosen rather than great riches. And favor is better than silver or gold, but a good name. Do you know that? Your name can be a blessing to people or a curse based on your actions. We live in a society where everybody's focusing on themselves. They're not thinking about the generation to come. They're not thinking about their grandkids. They're not thinking about the kids after, because we are living in a self-absorbed society that we don't think long term. Like, okay, if I get involved with this man or this woman, what kind of blessing will my children receive? What kind of society would my children live in if my actions today are not accounted for? My dad has a way of saying, he says, we don't plant trees for ourselves. We plant them for future generations. If you start living as if you're doing things for the future generation, your life will be much more peaceful. Yeah, you say, well, Barbara, I'm not going to be around to see it. Yeah, Barbara, I'm not going to care because I'm not going to be here. That's that selfish mindset. Everything we're receiving today, every blessing we have today is because the previous generation cared about it. The previous generation said, as a woman, I have a right to choose whether I will be a mother or not. As a woman, I have a right to go to work. As a woman, all these things that were done in the past are now my blessing today. So when you live for just you today, your life becomes miserable. Think about your future generation. A woman said to me, this therapist I was saying, she said, when you look at a man and you're interested in him, ask yourself, would your kids be proud to call him father? When she told me that, it changed my dating game forever. Because now I look and say, would he be a good father to our son, our daughter? Would they look at him and say, Mom, I'm happy you chose this man to bring us into the world? Because I tell you, there are so many kids whose lives are destroyed because of their parent. They didn't even have a chance because of the mother they had, the father they had. So when she told me that, I tell you, I'm not looking at myself. I'm not looking to say, okay, well, this is a good man. I could, do X, Y, Z. No, could he be a good father? Should something happen to me, can I trust him to raise our child in a way that would be respectful and be a blessing to society? You can't just live for today. You got to think about tomorrow, but also who will be impacted by your decisions. Every blessing we have today is because somebody planted that seed yesterday. What kind of seeds are you planting? What kind of movement are you making for the future generation? You can't be selfish and just worry about yourself. You can't do that. We got to plant trees for the future generation. David was not even thinking about himself. His blessing helped his son Solomon. Generations to come. What are you living for? What are you living for? Thanks for watching. Bye.